And then one day the switch popped up, and then everything just started off. So that means we need to start. My husband, he said, oh, I want to just, so we're back to where we were.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's- Where you are now, it looks like a really nice.
Sorry.
I could see that.
Oh, man, I was about to say that.
Oh, you guys don't need to be.
She's coming, she is Dr. Spring, and she's coming here. Yeah. So she is coming here. Okay, are we ready to go, Ebony? Woohoo, okay. Well, then on that note, if we could, roll call, please.
Chair Wilson,
Here.
Vice Chair Wah. Trustee Foyt. Trustee Melendres. Trustee Rogers. Trustee Haran. Here. Trustee Ortiz.
Here.
Trustee Benavides. Trustee Whiteley.
Here.
Trustee Raymaker. Okay, and we have a quorum, Chair.
Thank you. And just quickly for the record, trustee Benavides is excused absence, and we are expecting trustee Raymaker to be joining us shortly. And I believe Roger's online and Alendra. So when you see them pop in, please just let us know.
Will do.
Please stand for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have anyone for public comment at this time?
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda?
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's the agenda carries, and on to the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes? Any comments or additions?
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Accept the minutes. On to the chair's report. Couple of board meetings ago, trustee Whiteley had brought up some questions about are we in compliance with the foundation agreement? Following that last December, President Sanchez of the foundation was at our last board meeting. Afterwards, there was a meeting between Calvin and myself and Vice Chair, President Sanchez and Trustee Ortiz and Benavides, and we were pointed out some concerns that the foundation had and with the agreement as well, and it asked us to dig into it and to clarify. I forwarded their concerns on to Jerry and council, asked him to review the agreement, make sure everything was what it needed to be or what needed to be fixed. And he in turn has prepared a report for the board. And I will ask if you would, Mr. Welt, if you could deliver said report for us.
Certainly. Pardon my word for word, but we need to get this into the record. And this, so you know, was prepared by both myself and Lori Thompson, who's outside counsel with Greenberg Torrid, because I wanted independent counsel to review this as well.
Very quickly, is there a copy to pass out for the trustees that are here or not?
I don't have them.
Okay.
but Certainly we can give it to them.
Okay. If we could do that, then after the meeting, get a council to a copy to
Sure.
circulate.
Yep. Dear Mr. Wilson, in response to the foundation's request for the district to summarize the responsibilities and duties of the respective parties, we have prepared this short summary at your direction. In reviewing the documents between the Las Vegas Clark County Library District and the foundation, we believe that the Las Vegas Clark County Library Foundation is not in compliance with the 2009 agreement between the district and the foundation and extended in 2019 to 2024, known as the bookstore agreement. This agreement was entered into for the sale of books no longer needed by the district to raise funds exclusively for the district. The agreement's intent was to maximize the dollars to be raised for the district. To meet this purpose, Article 5 of the agreement required the foundation to use foundation volunteers. We have been advised that the foundation has in fact hired an employee, which goes against the terms of the bookstore agreement, as well as the bylaws for the foundation. Their bylaws in Article 8 state that the foundation shall have no employees. The district has relied on this additional assurance that employee expenses are not taken out of the money obtained from book sales. However, this is going to be a moot point going forward. The district can and should sell the books without using a nonprofit to hold the funds pursuant to NRS 332.185. The district now can keep the book sale funds and use them directly for its purposes. It also makes the bookstore agreement terminate as being moot. We recognize that this eliminates one of the primary fundraising activities of the foundation. The foundation going forward shall have to fundraise in other ways to cover its own expenses. Furthermore, the district must keep its employees from providing direct services to the foundation. While a joint effort can be made to share information, we cannot have any district employees taking directives for work tasks from the foundation. The district must make sure it operates separately from the foundation, and we have previously advised you to delineate the duties of each party. As you know, there is an ongoing legal claim against the foundation and its board. The district needs to make sure that the foundation and the district are not commingling any activities that could subject one entity to be held responsible for the other's activities. The foundation is a fundraising organization, and its fundraising must be carried out separately from the district. Such funds gained by the foundation are then to be provided solely to the district. This is set forth in the mission statement that allows the foundation to operate. Quote, "The Las Vegas Clark County Library District Foundation was formed to enable individuals and organizations to invest in the exceptional work of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District and enhance the quality and range of library services available to district residents beyond the level possible with public funds alone. The district can cooperate with the foundation to maximize the fundraising opportunities. The district development director can continue to provide any information to the foundation that is needed to secure a donation. If the district does find a lead for a fundraising opportunity that is prohibited from pursuing directly, the district can share that lead with the foundation." We would also like to address another issue relating to appointment of trustees for the foundation. The foundation bylaws require that district board approval is needed for 2 of the trustee positions. We believe this has not been followed, and the trustees have appointed without district approval. You will need to discuss with the foundation how to rectify this now and for the future. The intent of this memo is to clarify the district's and the foundation's legal and contractual obligations. We now no longer have express contractual obligations due to the bookstore agreement becoming void, but we still have our legal obligations. We, through the board, should continue our mutual goal to enhance the quality and range of library services available to district residents. We trust this answers your request.
Okay. That's a lot to digest. There's a couple of
Mr. Chairman,
follow-up questions and key points I know I have.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
this is a presentation. It's not open for discussion. It should be agendized as a discussion
The
item.
chair's report, it's not for discussion. It's my report to clarify information.
Okay, yep. Yes, it's your report, but any decisions, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry.
There are going to be no, all I'm
no
doing is
decisions.
providing information. There are going to be no decisions based.
Okay, and I would ask this be on the next agenda. But go ahead, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry for interrupting you, please.
Just for clarification, Lori Thompson, who, can you expand on who she is? and
Yeah,
why
she's
she
in
was
the-
Consulted.
Sure. Greenberg Torg is one of the foremost trademark patent nonprofit law firms in the country, actually. And they have a branch here run by Mark Trados, who actually many moons ago helped us build the Las Vegas Library with the museum. He was council and president of that particular organization and assisted us with the bond issues. He's, I think, one of the managing partners of Greenberg Torg. We have used them in the past for outside counsel. When I was given this task, I felt we needed an independent lawyer looking at it, not just general counsel for the library district. So I asked her to do the preliminary work on it, and then we together issued this report. I should add, because it is a change, is the biggest thing is the bookstore agreement, and that has come about because the law has been changed during this COVID time. And it used to be that we had to go through a nonprofit in order to obtain the proceeds from the bookstore sales. The law was changed that the library district can now sell its used books in any manner it deems advisable and does not have to go through a nonprofit. So in effect, by going through a nonprofit, we're just reducing our funds. So we're allowed to keep it, use it for what we need to for library purposes. And that really has been the major change. So that's something the foundation did in that particular instance.
Gotcha. So, but to clarify, the biggest major change is because of the state law, we have a more of a fiduciary duty to do it in-house because that's more money retained by the district.
Yeah, I think we would breach our fiduciary duty if we
Okay.
gave it to some, whatever the organization, who then used our money for some of their costs.
Okay.
Legitimately, I'm not casting aspersions.
No,
But-
not at all.
Would reduce it and then give it back to us. There's no reason for that now. So
That, I just wanted to make sure that was included in the report for the record. And I think this is an item that's going to need to come back for discussion at the future. So,
Mr. Chairman, I'm glad you found that out because if we get the opportunity to sell our own, and I don't want to say too much, to sell our own books, we should. There shouldn't be no middlemen. So I like that. Thank you for, I'm sorry we had to.
thank Council Welt.
thank
did all the
Council
work.
Welt, But we probably should have been brought up a little bit sooner than at this point. But anyway, for the discussion one, I'd like to see an agenda item.
Yes, I would too. So we're in agreement there. Okay, then on that
Mr.
note,
Chair,
yes.
before you move on, can I
again,
just,
keep in mind, this is a report, so it's.
yep, so I'm just asking
clarification.
you about your activities as chair. Can you brief the board on what the next steps, your intent with this letter is? Are you going to share it with the foundation, or are you going to hold that until we have a broader discussion as a board?
My original intent was when Council Welt had brought this back and brought the report back to me, I wanted us to go to the foundation first, who met 2 days ago. But at that time, they had a very busy agenda and did not have time to slot us in. So in light of that, I have spoken with the president of the foundation and have let her know that we'll deliver a copy of this, that I can't hold it back from our board for a month and it has to come to our board. So here it is. And we'll be sending a copy of it on to the foundation after this meeting, at which point I intend to, if President Sanchez would like us to, attend their next meeting to answer any questions they may have. And I'll ask Mr. Welt to come from the legal perspective to answer any questions the foundation may have on their side from our perspective. But that'll be completely up to President Sanchez if they want to take us up on that or not. So that's my next step with the foundation. The letter itself will be distributed to our entire board and their entire board following this meeting. And we'll then be looking at a future agenda item to have a discussion about this and what we do with our partnership going forward, with the bookstore agreement being moot now and void. What are we gonna do with the relationship and how do we best move forward with that relationship focused on fundraising? Does that answer the?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay, then on that note, we'll go on to library.
Trustee Roger, I had a clarifying question myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Trustee Rogers. I didn't even see you pop in there.
Yeah, it's difficult to follow all the content, not having the letter in front of me, sort of listening, but it seems like there are some distinct actionable items within the letter. So it seems out of sequence to me to sort of issue a letter with actionable steps in it before we as a board review it and say, yes, we are in agreement with said actions.
If you could clarify, Jerry, or relay
Yeah,
what you had explained to me.
yeah, nothing. There are actions that can be taken as a result of this report. There are things that there's only one thing that this board, I believe, has to do right away, and that's on this agenda for tonight, which I can explain further then or now. But the fact that the bookstore agreement is void, it's void, because I think it'd be a breach of fiduciary duty to go forward with the way it is. The other action, there are some actions the foundation is going to have to take, which has nothing to do with this group. So, and I had to, before you can take any action, I had to give you what the legal analysis was, and that's why we're doing this. If as a result of my analysis, you feel there are actions that should be taken, then that would be, as Trustee Ortiz has requested, would be agended for a future meeting. We were hopeful that this would go to the foundation first, so they wouldn't be surprised by it, but they couldn't fit it onto the agenda. So I don't think there's anything too dramatic except for the bookstore. Everything else is pretty well set out in either their bylaws, their operating agreement, or the law. So again, except for the one thing about us appointing an additional member to their board, which is on our agenda, which doesn't affect any action they have previously taken. They can appoint whoever they want on their board as board members. We just need to approve who specifically represent us. Point of fact, they could appoint you all to their board if they wanted to. So,
Mr. Chair, I did have a question for Jerry. Procedural question.
Are you satisfied, trustee Rogers? Did you get the information you needed?
Yes, I have to trust, like, I don't have the letter, so I certainly trust what I'm being told, that if there are no actions that we really need to consider, then, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have agenda items in the future for what items we do. Trustee Ortiz?
Just real quickly, Jerry, how long have you been the attorney for this organization?
46.
Okay, so the 3 or 4 directors ago, he created the bylaws for the foundation. Did you help him create those bylaws?
No, I didn't do that. It was done by independent counsel.
Okay, but the director of the library district created the bylaws for the foundation.
No, I believe that was done from the people who were the initials article of incorporation of the foundation.
I'm just trying to get a handle of it because his name is all over the place and he signed off on it. But anyway, I'll
Well,
check.
He
That-
was,
You answered
yeah,
my
he
question.
was, I mean, he was on their board.
The director of the library district.
Yeah, but I don't recall him as being official as much as ex officio, but I can't, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, because this,
But I didn't have anything to do with it to keep it separate from the library district.
thank you.
Okay, good. Any other clarifications before we move on from the chair's report? Okay, then on that note, we'll go on to library reports. Director Watson.
Thank you, Chair Wilson, trustees. So I've submitted my written report as presented in the backup documents, but I also wanted to have an opportunity to make some comments, and I'm going to have Director John Vino probably add some additional comments as well. So there was an email that was sent to the trustees via the trustee email address regarding the Whitney Library public restroom safety concern. It was submitted by a staff member and the staff comments. And so I wanted to address some of those, and again, have Director John Vino also add some other comments. First, I'd like to state for the record that there have been no changes in the library district's position from my office to do branch refreshes, and that there also has not been any hold on any refresh or remodel plans because of the demands of the West Las Vegas Library project. What I also want to say is that from my position and from Director Vino, we will continue to communicate regarding the refresh projects and where we stand. Specifically, the Whitney refresh was we delivered an update on this refresh project as recently as December at the halftime strategic playbook presentation, and that the process to do the restroom is not just the restroom, but an entire refresh of the youth area here in this building. And so it's scheduled for third quarter of this year. It's still on track. And so again, there has not been any changes. So that's, and I'll provide a much more detailed written comments to the email that I received from you, Chair Wilson, regarding this issue. So I'll let John fill in any details that I didn't provide.
Sure. John Vino, General Services Director for the record. I'll take some responsibility for this. And we take our projects and we put them out through quarters. So, so to to go through our workload. So early on in last year, when we went through the process and decided that, yeah, we're all in support. I think it's generally acknowledged that we want to do a YPL bathroom here. We did hire architects at the direction of Director Watson. We went through the process. We designed it. I even went ahead and pulled the permits. We went ahead and budgeted it in for this fiscal year. So it was always planned to be in this fiscal year. We added just additional funds for a full refresh of this library, and it just always made sense. They would be competing projects if we did them separately. They'd have to have different permits, and they kind of would be a domino effect. And I had always planned it for the third quarter with my staff. We are still, we've been dealing with just delays on our other refreshes, Spring Valley and Enterprise. They're going forward. So, it was always in line. And maybe staff here just, I did speak about it during our halftime report, but I apologize if staff wasn't aware that we were really on schedule and nothing has changed. It's still our process to bring this forward, and start the design process for this refresh of this whole branch and West Charleston in the fourth quarter. So, I don't think, as Director Watson has said, and the amount of agenda items I bring forward, that we've stopped any of our projects at any time. It's just a matter of just properly bringing projects at the correct time for workload and scheduling.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Vino. I want to say, first of all, quickly, thank you to the staff for even sending this in to us. We're here to serve you. That's the whole reason this board exists, is to serve the community. And that includes the staff. And we're up at 30,000 feet looking down. We don't know the intricate detail of everything, and it's hard to keep track of the intricate detail of everything. And I imagine with management and the amount of projects we throw on Mr. Vino, it's not like he can run around waving a banner, flag, LED billboard on his forehead of, minute by minute update. So it's reasonable to ask us these questions. And I was very appreciative to get the email and seeing that trustee contact form used, because we like to know what's going on and we like to hear from it. And what I heard was a staff member who's really passionate about the branch they work in and really wants the best for the customers coming into this branch. And all aside from the construction, when we get to doing it, the important thing is, wow, we have staff that cares that much about the safety and functionality of the branch for the kids that are here. So thank you, staff.
Great.
So on that note, I don't have any questions on it. Does anybody else? Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Vino.
I guess I was curious whether the staffer wanted to speak.
I don't know if the staffer wanted to actually address it directly, but I think the email said it all, that you are welcome to if you want to come up at public comment at the end. But your email was very clear. So did you get a copy of it?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I thought it was very well written, and it did address the things that can occur in a public space, whether it's a library. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought it was well written, and it did address the type of issues that occur in a public space, whether it's a library or any other public building. I've worked in environments where some of the things have also been jeopardizing safety for children. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Foyt. Okay, Director Watson, back to you.
So I don't have any other things to report. I'll take questions at this time if there are questions regarding the director's report.
Hey, do any of the trustees have any questions on the director's report or any other reports?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I just wanted to give it an acknowledgement and appreciation to Executive Director Watson and Director Segura. I had the opportunity over the holidays to visit Moapa Town Library, Moapa Valley Library, and Mesquite, bringing my total library visits to 15, I think. So I have 10 more. But thank you, as always, for helping facilitate those visits. It was great getting out to those outlying areas and meeting the staff out there and discussing their concerns and kind of what they're seeing in their branches. So just wanted to give my appreciation to Director Segura and Executive Director Watson.
Thank you, Trustee Wah.
Mr. Chairman, real quick,
Trustee Ortiz.
thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I had asked a question at the last meeting, and I just want to show everybody I got my answer. I'm satisfied and I have no further question. It was the final budget submitted for 22-23, and the director explained to me what it was, and so I got my question answered.
Great. I'm glad you got it answered. And
Thank you.
just a suggestion for the trustees in the future, if you're going through your packet prior to the meetings and you see something like that you want an answer, shoot an email to the director before the meeting, and hopefully then whatever department head can come to the meeting prepared with the answer in advance too. So we just get it right on the spot. So don't ever be afraid if you see something that you want to know the answer to, email it out ahead of time. And Director Watson's been amazing. Every time I ask something on having staff get me an answer, usually the same day. So I have no doubt they'll be able to prepare it in time for the meeting with a couple days warning. Okay, any other comments or questions?
Chair, I have one really quick.
Yes.
I just
Trustee
wanted
Whitley.
to, I noticed recently this staff is just doing such a terrific job engaging on social media, really creative stuff happening on Twitter, on TikTok, really bringing people in and really letting young people know that the library is a place they can be. So I see some people out here in the audience that I recognize from just following on social media, and you guys are just doing a terrific job. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Trustee Whiteley. Okay, and on that note, I will go ahead and accept the reports. And we will now need to go into executive session. This could take us expected to take up to 45 minutes. So I believe we're going to just stay right here for the session. Is that right, Director Watson? So unfortunately, I will have to ask everybody to please step outside while we take care of some internal business, and we will call you back in as quickly as we can. So legal business, yeah. And while they're getting the meeting set up and ready, trustees, maybe take a 5-minute quick recess while they go about their business, getting us dialed in and set up for the executive session.
How do y'all know when they're done? They come out?
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Chair Wilson, while we're waiting, I just want to put for the record that trustee Rogers has joined, trustee Melendres and trustee Raymaker has joined the meeting.
Yeah, while we're waiting, come to think of it, Jose, are you okay? I've never seen you on a plain white background. That seems unnatural.
Did he hear us?
He did.
Yes.
He's looking right now to find a better background.
I'll see if I can change it up.
They're always so festive. So I was like, this is just unusual.
Is that better?
Thank you. Now all is right.
Aspirational.
Balance has been returned to the board.
Yes, I'll make a trip anytime I can to that bridge in the city it's outside of.
Yes.
You and me both.
Hum a few bars.
Do apologize for my tardiness tonight. My son was supposed to be done at 4:30 and they ended up keeping them till 5:15.
How rude.
Yes, that's what I said.
Are we good to go, trustee Raymaker?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, the regular meeting is now back in session. So new business. Well, we have no unfinished business. New business.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I move to approve the consent agenda.
do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the consent agenda passes. On to the regular agenda. Item 1, discussion and possible board action regarding approval and settlement agreement and release to resolve litigation filed by former employee upon recommendation by counsel.
If we could, we have our architects as part of the consent agenda have brought a 4-minute video of what the new West Las Vegas Library will look like.
So you could put that in your
Yeah.
report.
Well, we didn't know you were going to do the consent agenda.
It says consent agenda clearly at the top of consent agenda. I mean,
So with your indulgence, we would just like to show you a quick walkthrough of the space and we
okay, but
appreciate you.
this is the only pass you get on not reading the
Yeah,
English.
I apologize. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good, especially since now you approved us to move to design development. It'll give you a good idea.
Okay.
So
Bring
That's your
cookies
cue.
next time, Vino.
hand it over to you guys.
Okay, thank you. And we won't take much of your time. The video is only a few minutes long and we just wanted to kind of show it to you guys. But if you guys do have any questions afterwards, we're happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. So
Okay, we'll be back. Maybe in February, but we will be back.
It definitely ain't gonna be today because
We tried. Bring cookies.
okay. On that note, back to the regular agenda. Discussion and possible board action regarding approval of the settlement agreement and release to resolve litigation filed by former employee upon recommendation by counsel. And who's reading this? Is this me reading it? Somebody else doing it? Okay, I guess it's me. So agenda item, 91, let's see, on July 1st, 2022, former employee of the library district filed an employment lawsuit against the district, the executive director, and the Las Vegas Clark County Library District Foundation regarding the employee's separation from employment, alleging contract and tort claims. All parties recently participated in mediation on January 5th, 2023, during which a tentative settlement of the lawsuit was reached. Subject to approval by the board, the executive director and counsel recommended approval of the settlement, following which the lawsuit will be dismissed. Discussion on the item?
I'll just state that, yeah, I had conversation with Director Watson on this yesterday, and I disagree with the strategy. However, I, respect the executive director's judgment and his analysis on it. I'll let others speak. If not, I'm prepared to make a motion, but I'll let other trustees speak.
As much as I'd like to have this in the rearview mirror, I would have been able to support putting it in a rearview mirror a year ago. At this point, my concern with a settlement like this is we're basically saying that at-will employees that are separated from the district, just find yourself a contingency lawyer, sue us, and we'll write you a check. I don't like it. I'm not happy with it. I can't support it. That's my only thoughts on the subject. Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the settlement agreement and release and direct the executive director to execute the agreement on behalf of the district.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair Wilson's nay. Motion carries.
And if any of the trustees want all the documents for the settlement, just let me know and I'll get them to you, the releases and so forth. Or you have them? Oh, you've all got them? Okay.
Regular agenda item B2, discussion and possible board action to nominate and appoint a new Las Vegas Clark County Library District Board trustee as a director for the Las Vegas Clark County Library District Foundation Board of Directors. Yeah, please do.
Okay, so that was part of my analysis, our analysis. And just so you know, the foundation can appoint anybody they want to their board as they have. However, your bylaws also require that this board be able to appoint two of its trustees whose job is to represent the district while serving on the foundation board. And somehow in the course of filling a vacancy, they directly appointed Felipe, which is well within their right to do. No problem there. But we never filled our one remaining slot. So Kelly represents the one, you folks appointed her, and now you have one slot open to serve on that board, which has no effect on what Felipe is doing or Kelly right now. All this is for you to nominate and elect one of your number to serve on the board as your direct representative on the foundation board.
Thank you, Jerry.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, trustee Wah.
I move to nominate and appoint trustee Kate Turner Whiteley as an additional Las Vegas Clark County Foundation board director.
I would second that nomination. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. That concludes the regular agenda. Announcements. The next regular board meeting in February will be held at Windmill Lane on February 9th at 5 p.m. Marches will be held March 9th, 5 p.m. at West Las Vegas. And then April 20th, 5 p.m. at the Clark County Library on East Flamingo. Are there any announcements from the trustees before we move on to public comment? And any public comment at this time?
No, not at this time.
Yes.
I see somebody coming forward.
Got it. Oh,
Well, we have to have them.
Sir, can you please
Can you
state your name and your address?
You could do it at the microphone for the record. We just need your name and address.
Richard Manhattan, 5757 Wayne Newton Boulevard, 11211, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89111. I just wanted to take a moment to share with the board as well my confusion over the consent agenda vote. I think I was anticipating that there might be a discussion during that component about the items in that section. That vote has happened now. it has transpired, but I did come down to comment on that section. But since that has passed, I just wanted to share that with you. So in the future, maybe you can indicate on the agenda that the consent agenda will be voted on as a block with no discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. And then on that note, is there any other public comment at this time? All right. Then on this note, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.